Hey guys, so before we get started on the topic of today's video, I have to talk about this makeup that I'm wearing. I decided to do the other side of the Melt Cosmetics Blueprint palette that I already did a video with. In a previous video, I did a look with the blues. Today, I used 3 out of the 4 here. I didn't use the one that's like orangey, but I used this as my brow bone inner corner highlight. This is on my lids. This is in the outer corner. But I started the look with an eyeshadow that I made. I did not have an eyeshadow in my collection like this, and I really wanted to make one, but I needed certain ingredients to do that, and I bought them and I made it, but I don't know that I'm not 100% satisfied with the texture of it, but it was the eyeshadow that I started this whole look with. But I gotta show you this too. I bought these empty palettes off Amazon, and oh man, they are so gorgeous. They have a mirror in them too. The one I got came in a 2-pack, and it was very reasonably priced. And it will hold your magnetic shadows. And then I bought like a bag of magnetic pans, but they're made out of a certain material that they won't rust, because when you're working with oils and things like that, sometimes it will make your pans rust if you don't get certain materials. But anyways, I'll put a link to those 2 items in the description box if I can remember. But this is the color that I made that I wanted to make so badly. And what it is it's a combination of yellow and green, warm toned yellow and green mixed together, and it's matte. And mattes are almost impossible to make yourself if you're into making your own eyeshadows. So it came out good. Like, I started by putting that all in the crease, and it came out pretty good, but I think I'm a perfectionist because I still felt like if you really look, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but if you really look right around the edges, it looks a little crumbly and dry. But the middle is actually where I put my brush. But anyways, it's workable, you know, it's not anything that I would sell, we'll put it that way. So I need to keep working on my formula. You know, I still have the box that the Melt Blueprint palette came in, and I was looking at the ingredients on the back, and I don't have hardly any of these ingredients, so I don't think I would probably be able to get them. I think it would be very difficult to get them because a lot of these things are probably only available to people who are in the industry. But yeah, there is a list of about 20, 30 things that are in their eyeshadows. But if you've never tried Melt Cosmetics, their matte shadows are amazing. I wish that I knew these ladies that own this company, because I would ask them, you know, which one of these ingredients, I mean, look at, that's the ingredient list right there. Okay, now I don't use that many ingredients to make mine, but which one of these is like your secret ingredient? Because everybody knows that's in the beauty industry that Melt's matte shadows are amazing, and mattes are so hard to do. So yeah, these were the last 3 that I made. This one here, I hate the texture of it, but it looks beautiful when you swatch it and you use it, but I hate the texture of it. But it looks good. I guess that's all that matters, right? This is like it's silver gray, but it's got like a really weird, yeah, texture to it. So wasn't happy with the way that one turned out. And then this one here is one of Just Pigment's new brilliant color shift colors. This is yellow, green, red. I had no problems pressing that one. These super, super shimmery multi-chrome pigments that they sell, I've had no issues pressing those into eyeshadows. They press beautifully. And I think probably the reason why they press so good is because there are so many things already in there that they work good with the ingredients that I'm putting with them with. But I'm really tempted to make another one of these with different ingredients that I have to see if I like the formula better. But I don't know. I don't have very much chromium green left, which is what I used to mix with the yellow to get that shade. But did you see where Natasha Denona just came out with a new palette and she's got a yellow green matte in the palette? But I don't feel like it goes with the other colors in the palette. Otherwise, I'd be really tempted to buy that because I've been so drawn to that shade lately. This is not my colors at all. I know they're not that flattering on me, but I don't know. Sometimes you just get the urge to wear certain colors, and all these warm shades that I have on, warm brown lipstick, and on my eyes I have gold and brown and that yellow green that I made, and what's the other one I used? Um, two golds. Yeah, two golds, a yellow green, and a brown. But sometimes you just get the urge to wear certain colors, you know? Okay, so we're 6 minutes in, so I need to shut up about all this and get started. Okay, the book series that I'm reading, I feel like a lot of you probably read the first book already because I'm way late to the game on this. When was this originally published? The first book was published in 2011. So 14 years ago, right? Yeah, no. That would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago. How many of you have read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? I was at Savers one day, and if you've never seen the book section at Savers, if you want to get a good deal on books, because books are expensive. Um, I mean, this retailed back in the day for $17.99, which is, you know, a lot to spend for one book. But yeah, if you've never been to the book section at Savers, you can find some great stuff there. It was in very good condition when I found it. It doesn't have like any marks in it. Nobody dog-eared the pages. It's clean. So I had heard of this book, but I didn't really know what it was about. But it's about Jacob, who is a teenager. I think he's 16. And he has a very close relationship with his grandfather. And when he was growing up, his grandfather told him stories about his childhood. And Jacob was just riveted, fascinated by these stories. But when Jacob started to get older and told kids at school the stories, they all laughed at him and thought he was making it up. And so that, of course, turned him off from hearing the stories that his grandfather told him. And then he started to question whether his grandfather was just telling stories that really weren't part of his life. And when he tried to talk to his grandfather about it, his grandfather was very hurt because they weren't just stories, they were things that really happened to him. Now, keep in mind, his grandfather was a child during the war, World War One. Was it World War One or World War Two? I always get those mixed up. I hated history when I was in school. The one with the Nazis, okay? So his grandfather's parents were taken by the Nazis, and somehow Jacob escaped. I think his parents put him on a boat or a plane or something and got him out of Poland, I think is where they were. And none of this is like going to spoil the story for you, what I'm telling you right now. So Jacob went to live at a special home for children. And these weren't just ordinary children, they were children with certain peculiarities. And Jacob didn't exhibit any peculiar traits like the kids that he lived with at the school, but that's just because he didn't know what his peculiarity was at that time. He found out later on what it was, and I'm not going to tell you how he found out because that would be a spoiler. But this is an incredible story, and the book is got pictures throughout of what is going on in the story. And the guy that wrote this book bought all these pictures at yard sales and estate sales and things like that, flea markets. So he bought these pictures and then he wrote the characters to be like what the pictures were, which is incredible. You can't really tell by looking at this in the video, but there is a gap between her feet and the ground. So this girl is floating and she's wearing a crown. But yeah, you get sucked into the story and there are elements of horror in it, just so you know. But there's a lot of action and horror, but it's the story's got heart, you know. You get to know these characters and you get to love them. So I finished the first book and I was like, gee, I wonder what else this guy has wrote. And then I realized this was a series. So I'm trying to cut back on how much money I'm spending on books because books are so expensive. So I went to the library and I got book number 2, which is called Hollow City. Flew through that. Got the third book, which is what I am in the process of reading now. So book number 3 is called Library of Souls. And I am almost halfway through this one. And then I think there are some other books that aren't actually part of the series, but they are tied to this storyline. So yeah, these are well worth your time. And I don't want to tell you anything else about it, but because I don't want to spoil it for you, because that's half the fun with books is, you know, learning as you go along what's going on. But yeah, it's so good. But Jacob is the main character in the story, and he is throughout all 3 books. So the other thing I was going to talk about, because the name of the video is what I've been reading, what I've been playing. I already told you that I'm back into Animal Crossing big time. I'm in the process of switching out my villagers on my island and bringing in some that I've had before with amiibo cards. There is one villager that I used to have years ago on another island that I miss so much, but I'm trying not to spend money on amiibo cards because they're pretty expensive, but I really wish I could get Julian again. He is a unicorn. He's technically in the horse category, but yeah, he's a unicorn, and I had him on one of my islands that was called Peach Island, and man, I wish I could get Julian again. I keep thinking I'm going to find him when I do a villager hunt or that he's going to come to the campsite, but he must be super rare because I haven't seen him since I had him on my Peach Island. But so the other thing that I've been playing is not a video game, is my husband and I have gotten back into playing Scrabble. And that is so good for your brain, you know. When you're older like we are, it's good to play those kind of games because you're really using all your brain cells to try to play this game, and it increases your vocabulary. And if you're not sure about the spelling of something, we look it up in the dictionary. If somebody puts something down, it's like, wait a minute, is that the way you spell it? We look at it in the dictionary, and if it's right, great. if the spelling isn't right, you have to take your letters back and come up with something else. But Scrabble is so much fun and so good for you. So that is it, you guys. That's what I've been reading, playing, and still trying to perfect my formulas with making my own eyeshadows, but having a ball doing it. So thanks for watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it helps my channel when you do. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.